this year, beginning in the first of the year in January, I began to write toward this book again. And I believe that it will take about 6 months to really kind of formulate that and fix it in a certain direction. So pacing is going to be very valuable, I think, in the sense of how this is going to come to be. It also helped me to think again about how do I develop an essay-style book? Because if I know that my strength is essay, then I'm going to write toward that strength. And I think I'm going to go back toward the sectioning rather than chaptering of a book again. Because each chapter will be about education. Actually, the subtitle, by the way, for this book is Teaching Learning as Christian Practice. And I hyphenate teaching learning because I think it goes both ways. I learn from my students, they learn from me. But beyond that, I think it's important and valuable to say that when I think about teaching learning, there are so many different things that I could say about this. So I've divided the book into 10 basic sections, and I'll write essays toward those things. And then I will actually do something similar to the last book, though very different in the sense that in the sections I will have a philosophy of whatever it is I'm talking about incorporated in that section, and then an actual practice of it. So how do I see this coming to be? How does the, let's say, project-based learning become a part of how do I teach? So those two venues will be sections of this book as well. So I think the pacing is important. I think it's important to know what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. And then, of course, as you think about how this thing actually looks into the future, what do you want people to remember? What do you think is going to be helpful for people? Because you want a book to be helpful. In my venue, I write in nonfiction categories. And so even though I'm a storyteller, my focal point will be, of course, toward training people to think differently than they normally think. And that's very hard to do, and so you want to make it in bite-sized chunks, I would say, and something that's palatable and easy to digest in that respect. So I would say, generally speaking, pacing is important, knowing what your strengths are, and then creating a document that is going to actually give strength to whatever the subject is that you're after.